Hello, future video editor Megan here. I spent the next several days at the Welaka State Forest Equestrian Campground, and I have been trying to record the voiceovers and video for it for 6+ weeks. And at some point, I just have to give up and say it's good enough. I didn't film very much in the moment during this period of time, so a lot of it has to be voiceovered, and I don't think it's very good. But I need to move forward, so forgive what comes next. On this episode of the Prequel, St. Louis to Florida. This was the day before the land tax auction that I'm here for. I took myself into town and stopped at a gas station and got ice and gas, then a car wash, and I spent almost 2.5 hours there vacuuming and cleaning and sorting, because if you remember from yesterday's episode, this is what my car looked like. And then I stopped at some fast food, stopped at a grocery store, and then I drove over to Interlaken to go see properties over there and the Interlaken library. And I was at the library for about an hour and a half. I made more shopping stops, and then more fast food in the evening and the post office before coming back to the campground for the evening. That evening, back in the campground, I took these pictures in the tent. Today was the day of the land tax auction. I stopped at a gas station, a fast food, and then spent a little under 2 hours at the laundromat. And I ended up watching the auction, but not feeling like I could bid on anything. I didn't have enough information to pick out a singular property. I stopped at a dollar store and then got an invite to go have dinner with and see my mom's sister, my aunt, on the north side of Ocala. So I was with her from about 5:30 to 8:30. And then made 2 more shopping stops on the way back and did not arrive back to my campground until 10:30 p.m. I was booked in Site 10, but unaware that a tree had fallen on Site 9, which I had almost booked. I only became aware of it when they brought over heavy equipment to remove it. They offered to move me to Site 14, which I accepted. It's not bookable online, but has more shade. They also allowed me to sleep in my car from this point out. My tent had been rolling away like a tumbleweed because the gravel area does not hold the tent stakes down. I then went over to the bathroom building, which is a barn with a covered area, and did some Tai Chi before taking myself over to go see Crescent City, which is also part of the land tax auction area that I hadn't seen yet. And I ended up spending 5.5 hours at the Crescent City Library and meeting a gentleman and having a very long conversation with him about life, the universe, and everything. I didn't get back to the campground till 9 p.m. It's 2 days after the auction, but I still spent almost an hour at the clerk and recorder's office before going over to a pharmacy to pick up my Amazon deliveries. I picked myself up an oven and a refrigerator, and then I went over to the gym and the dollar store. Then I spent 2.5 hours at the library, picked up some more fast food, went over to a park in the evening, and we wasted about 45 minutes because I went to a theater production of The Drowsy Chaperone, and I was at the theater from 7:15 to 9:30 p.m. And then I drove back to the campground and got in at about 10:15 p.m. I spent this day going to the nearby mud springs. It's a 1/2 mile from the campground, and it's about a 1/2 mile walk once parked. And once I got there, I did go swimming in the springs and thoroughly enjoyed it. And then walked back and took a shower, and then spent the afternoon just hanging out. As I was leaving the campground the next morning, I came across these birds and watched them for a little while. Fast food in Crescent City. I stopped at a gas station in Seville and drove myself towards my friend's house in Edgewater to go visit her. After visiting with her at about 3 in the afternoon, I stop at a dollar store, another fast food store, and I arrive at my hotel at about 5:15 p.m. I'm staying at the Disney All-Star Movies Resort. I do go out again that evening to yet another grocery store and another dollar store before finally staying in for the night at around 11. If you're still here, please like and subscribe for tomorrow's episode.